Well, I think we're going to have to watch development in Ondo State because power is temporarily transmitted to the deputy governor. But let us also understand he's just acting. He isn't the governor. He's not the substantive governor. The substantive governor is still there. But for now, like I told some of your colleagues, he is more or less a special agent and a special representative of the governor. That's why we call him acting governor. And
Yes.
acting governor acts in the place of the substantive governor. What it means is, for example, you cannot overturn the currents of government that is established by the elected governor. And I believe that as acting governor, he will need to do well to build relationship between the existing structure that is essentially established and presided over, and with loyalty to the existing to the elected governor.
Mm-hmm.
But now that existing structure and people have a new boss ad interim. Understandably, some uncomfortability may exist. It is the responsibility of the deputy governor, now as acting governor, in faithfulness to the elected government, to ensure that the label of uncomfortability is not attached to his actions and also to his relationship.
Okay. Because thank you for that, Dr. Bayami, because I was going to ask you what the intention was of that provision of the Constitution, that where the governor is, for whatever reason, not able to discharge his functions as the governor, as it would have seemed to be the case that we have now. What are the extents? Because if he's going to be the acting governor, you've just used the word loyalty, with loyalty to his boss because he is not the substantive governor. But what does that mean exactly in terms of being practical? The acting governor now still has to carry on the business of state. He's going to need aides. No governor can do it alone. He needs his aides.
Yes.
Is he allowed to bring his own aides on board, or must he use aides that existed before this situation, which has been partly resolved?
That's a very good question, Mr. Yori. Now, the deputy governor was and presumed is, up until now, part of the government. He is deemed to be part of the participants in determining the currents of governance. In other words, the structure, the ideals set out with his input as deputy governor will be expected to be continued in the interest of the people and in the interest of the government. That doesn't, of course, say that it cannot remove error or wrong that are prejudicial to what is existing. But I think the expectation is that he will act as the governor wants him to act because he's acting on his behalf. In other words, I send you out as an agent. In the interim, can you then act contrary to my directive or my expectation? Because it may not be, in this case, directive, it may be expectation, which he will be deemed to have, having participated for some time in the currents of government. So there's really nothing abnormal about it. I explained to some of your colleagues yesterday. We have a hoe and we have a yam farm, and we have to tender the plant of the yam. But now the governor is injured in his hand. He cannot hold the hoe. And he gives it to the deputy. Please continue taking care of this farm while I go to treat my hand that was injured while I was actually presiding over the care of that farm. And the governor destroy, remove, scatter the farm. Of course, he cannot. What is expected to do is to continue the vision that established the farm. Remember, he was part of that vision because he was in that farm with the governor when the governor was tendering that farm. I think it's just that simple.